Hey guys, what's going on? I do apologize that I've been, haven't posted in over a week. My FLL team is actually getting ready to compete. We're competing tomorrow on Saturday the 12th, and we've been really busy, so I haven't really had too much time to post. But today I'm going to post a video on how to use the My Blocks. Before we get started with that, what I want to do is, mention that at 300 subscribers, we're going to be doing a giveaway. If you want to be a part of that, make sure that you like my channel and interact in my videos. So comment, ask questions, things like that, and you'll get a entry into the giveaway. Also, if you want to see some content like tutorials that I would like, that you want me to share, or tutorials for coding, or an update on our team or something like that, just comment in the comment section, and I'll be able to try to make a video to meet your needs. Alright, with that said, let's get started. So the My block is a very interesting block. It's in this last section. You can see that there's nothing there right now because basically the My block is a block that you actually customize and generate yourself. So why is that important? Because it actually saves quite a bit of time. Let me show you how it can be used. Basically, what the My block does is you can kind of like generate a giant program, such as a line follower program, right? And then you can convert it into a single block. That way you don't have to rewrite that code every time you want to follow a line. So let me show you. Let's just run through that real quick. What I'm going to do is just make a quick, beginner's line following program for you guys here as a demo for this My block. Just we'll use color mode too. Oops. Let me go with this. Ba-ba. Bum, 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 bum. So, let's see. Let's just turn these both on. And we will set these to -5. Or actually, not negative. Sorry about that. 10. Oop. 10. Oh. Dang it. Needed to look at my keyboard for a second because I kept typing in the wrong power. So we will type that in, and then on the other side we will type in the reverse operation. So basically, this is a beginner's line following program. Let me explain how it works. The general idea is that when the color sensor sees black, it's going to turn the opposite direction. And then when it doesn't see black, such as when it sees the white outline of the black line, then it's going to turn back to the black line. So it's going to turn away from the black line, turn back to the black line. So basically, it's going to wobble across the line and follow it that way. So that's, a beginner's program for line following. Let me actually show you the limitations for that. So we're going to limit it to rotations or loop, and we're going to say oops, we're going to say let's say we want to follow the line for 3 rotations, right? So that's what we'll do, and we will reset motor B. So let's say like you're writing your code, right, and you want to follow a line. Let's just write like a demo code for a program. So let's say we want to drive forward 2 rotations. We want to do a little bit of a turn, and then we want to drive forward. We want to scan a line or start following a line. So rather than have to repeat this operation over and over and drag the blocks out over and over again, you can actually convert it into a My block. So all you do is basically you convert it into a block, and then that way anytime you want to follow a line, you just drag that block out and place it, and it'll follow a line for you. So it's very easy to do. Let me show you how to do that. First thing you're going to want to do is zoom out so you can capture the program that you want. Then you need to highlight the section you want to convert into a My block. Actually, in this mode, let's start with this. You want to highlight the section you want to convert into a My block. Okay? So basically, everything that's in this blue box, I'm going to put into a My block. So once I highlight that and click, you go into Tools, My Block Builder, and you're going to generate your own block. So, block name, let's just say line follow. And then you can write a description if you want, such as follows line, right? And then you can change the icon. So like if you see I click these different icons, I can change it. So in this one, I'm going to set it to a color sensor because we use the color sensor. So it'll help, remind my students or me or whoever's, programming at that time. If I'm just messing around, with this code, it'll help me remember this is a line following program. So what we're doing is, at that point, you can just click finish, and it'll generate the block. So there's a couple different options for the my block. So this is just the basic my block. So you can see that this is a my block. Let's say I want to drive forward and then follow another line. So I drive forward and then I just can drag this block and follow the line. It's so much easier than having to manually write out that whole code. However, let's say I want to make changes to the my block. All I do is double click, and look, it has two codes. So it has this one which is my original program code, see? And then if I go into this window, it actually shows me inside what's inside the my block. So the reason this is important is if you need to make changes, say your line follower doesn't work all that well, you want to adjust it, or like things like if you want to make changes, or if you want to add onto it. So that's really important to be able to access the inner contents of that my block. So let me talk to you about another function of the my block. So you can do this. However, there's a way to kind of make some general changes without actually having to go into the my block. So what you can do is, let's say I'm using reflective light mode, right? So compare reflective light. So let's say I want to use sensor 3, color sensor 3, and you know, black lines typically scan around 5 to 15 threshold. So let's say I want to just follow anything under 20, right? So what I can do now is I can actually, when I highlight this, right, or actually let me go back, yeah, sorry about that. When I highlight this, right, I can actually then go into here, tools, my block builder, same thing, and you can actually add things to be able to change these blocks. So let me talk to you about how that actually works. So let's name this one line follower, or let's say change. We're gonna name this one change because we can change the values. So we're gonna, again, a color sensor icon, and you can actually do things like this. You can add like speed values, you can add like whatever you want. It's actually pretty cool. So in this case, what I'm going to show you guys is I'm going to show you how to add, I'll just do one variable for now. So let me show you what this block does. So basically, it puts this little thing here. So then what I can do is I can actually tie this into my reflective light value. And that way, let's say I want to change the reflective light value because I'm working on tuning, right? So rather than have to switch back and forth between the program, the window, things like that, it can really freeze up your PC, just going back and forth quite a bit. So rather than have to do that, if I plug this into that value, when I go back to my original program, if I drag the correct block, let's see, the change block, you can see I can actually type in the custom value that I want. So I can type in whether I want the reflective light threshold to be 15, whether I want it to be, 20, whether I want it to be 10, or whatever it is. And that way it's a lot easier to tune to your specific robot. I can say for our robot, from what the students have seen and tested, from what it seems, our reflective light value on black lines is around, a 13 threshold. But on some robots it might be 5, or on some robots it might be 20. So, it really is it's really based on robot to robot and different from robot to robot. So you really need to, be able to change these. So it's so great to be able to add these into my blocks and be able to change it. Oh, nope, that's too high. Let me set it to 15. Okay, that one works. So, that's really convenient. The other thing you can do is, let me just exit out of there. You can actually even do another thing. Let me show you. So you can, let me pull open this program for you. Let me just exit this thing. Yeah, okay, there we go. So you can actually add more than one variable like I mentioned. So in that case, let me show you. So if I add 2, right, switch the icon. And to be able to distinguish these, I'm going to say change, 2. Alright, so to be able to distinguish these parameters, I should be able to edit them. How do I forget, parameter setup, that's what it was, parameter icons. Sorry, for a second, I haven't done this in a little while, so I just froze up for a second. So, what are the parameters we're going to be doing? So reflective light is 1. So what's a good parameter for that? Really, you can set it to whatever you want. For me, I would probably set it to like, maybe this one. And then for this one, we're going to use the comparison statements. So what we are going to do is we are going to set it to, let's just say equal. Okay? And what I'm going to do now is, let me show you. This is pretty cool. So, obviously, like I mentioned before, this one's going to be the light. So let's plug it into the light value. Now this one, however, we can set to the parameter. So let's say we want to, change this value from the code again. So like, let's say we want to follow a white line. So in that case, we would need to switch from less than to greater than, rather than have to come into this my block and switch it up. You can easily just set your my block like that. And oops, sorry, I set the gyro icon, not the color sensor, but you get the same point. So, or you get the point. So let's say I want to follow a white line, so it would probably range up around 60 reflective light intensity. So let's put it at 55, and then I can put this as greater than, which is the number 2. So why is number 2 greater than? Let me show you. If I go into the change to my block, you can see that the number 2 greater than. So I will follow anything greater than 55 reflective light intensity. So that is that's basically how you use the my block. We use it all the time on my FLL team. In fact, we have one program that we use that actually uses 5 my blocks. So these my blocks, this is basically a very basic example of one. Some of the code that you would make on, depending on your team, can get really long and really advanced. Some of the the functions, like such as gyro code, or some advanced line following code. So those things can get really long, and so rather than have to copy and paste, or repeat the same program the same function over and over and over again, the my block makes it so easy to do and so easy to program, saves plenty of time. And why is saving time important? Well, because it helps you score more points, because you have more time to program your missions, you have more time to work on, improving your attachments, things like that. And that's why the my block's so important. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial today. If you want to be a part of the giveaway, please interact in my channel. If you have any sort of future videos you want me to make, just please comment in the section below, and I'll do those for you. Alright, see you guys next time.